There's a great article that just went out over at GameSpot.com from an interview at GDC where Dan Ayoub, head of digital product development at Wizards of the Coast, sat down to talk about all the games that Wizards of the Coast has in development related to Dungeons and Dragons and beyond. And they revealed that there is a non-Forgotten Realms project in the work, a non-Forgotten Realms video game in the works. I would love it to be Dragonlance. The writer of this article would love it to be Eberron. I would be happy with either. I'm going to play no matter what. We're going to dive into this a little bit more. There's going to be a link down below for those of you who want to read. I'm also going to say before we get going any further, if you're someone who can't let go of your hate for Wizards of the Coast for whatever reason, whether it's the OGL last year, which even I was happy to, talk about and critique because, it was a misstep in their history. If you can't let go of that, please just leave your dislike and go on about your day. Negative comments and people just ranting about what they hate about Wizards of the Coast, I will be nuking all those comments and hiding those people from the channel. I don't want you here. And you don't want to be here either, apparently, for being a negative D-bag. So hit the dislike, move on about your day. But if you're here to talk about how cool Dungeons and Dragons is and how much passion you have for the various worlds, and there are a lot, and you want to play something, whether it's Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance or Eberron, then you are in the right place. We celebrate games here, and we celebrate tabletop. I've been critical of Wizards of the Coast in the past. I don't think there's anything wrong with criticizing the leadership of Hasbro and Wizards, but the passionate people who make good games that I love to play, and the books and the tabletop games and everything else, I'm in my mid-40s. I've been playing D&D since I was in my early teens. These games and these worlds have meant the world to me and have given me thousands of hours of entertainment over the course of my life, and I'm never going to hate on that. Like, I'm always going to love Star Wars. I don't care if it's Disney or Lucasfilm. I don't care. I love Star Wars. So anyway, we got that out of the way. You've been warned. Feel free to do what you think you need to do, but we won't be worrying about you anymore in the future. So there is a really cool article that you can dive into here, and there's a ton of great information about all the projects that Wizards of the Coast has going on in particular. I did not know that the Matthew McConaughey sci-fi game that they're that's being worked on right now, Exodus, was just from Archetype. That's a Wizards of the Coast game. I did not know that. I'm really excited about this product in particular. It's going to be fun. It's a brand new IP. But in terms of what they've got going on, they have a lot of D&D projects in the works. And after the success of Baldur's Gate 3, Wizards of the Coast realizes that, hey, that's where the audience is right now. We had a great film in the theaters. We could do something there. We could do other films. We've got the live-action TV show that's going on. They did cancel the D&D live-action show that Joe Manganiello, I always forget his last name, was working on. It's unfortunate. But there's a lot of ups and downs in business. So it is what it is. I think that when we're talking about worlds beyond Forgotten Realms, it's a risk for Wizards of the Coast to do that, because if you think about the modern generation of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, we're talking 5th edition here. They've never played another edition other than 5th. Maybe they've played 3, 3.5, and 5th. I can't remember if 2.5 was Forgotten Realms. I really can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was. Pretty sure 2.5 was Forgotten Realms as well. That's going back a ways. It's been Forgotten Realms for a long time. We haven't had Eberron or Dragonlance or Ravenloft or any of the other worlds at the forefront for a very long time. So when you think about the size of the audience that Wizards of the Coast has, you can think about up here would be Forgotten Realms. The audience is this big, and then way down here might be I don't know, Eberron. It's probably not that case, but I'm saying there's a big difference. Like, in terms of comparison, like Forgotten Realms is what everyone knows. They haven't done anything big in a long time, and I think before Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance was the next biggest, as far as I'm aware, in terms of all of the modules and all of the tabletop stuff. All of the various video games that came out in the gold box era. There was there was a bunch of Dragonlance stuff that came out then. There was also all the books that came out in the Dragonlance era. So if I was a betting man, I would bet that it would be Dragonlance, but it could equally be Eberron. But it is a risk for Wizards of the Coast because the audience for Forgotten Realms is so massive that they don't know if it's going to translate into another Baldur's Gate 3 type of success. Now, there are some people who have said that, Baldur's Gate 3 was a unicorn, a freak accident. It wouldn't happen to any other company, or it could have happened, I should say, to any other company. Larian just got lucky. I don't think that's true at all. Larian had built up a lot of goodwill with their Divinity Original Sin series, and they also did 3 years of early access and a ton of publicity, and risked their reputation and their money and everything else, and it paid off for them. I don't know what we're going to see in terms of some of these other companies doing things like that. If people are going to be able to, get the same level of success out of it, so we'll see. My money's on Dragonlance. Could be Eberron. I don't. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Man, I really don't know that it would be anything other than that. Ravenloft was good, but it didn't have such a huge impact. But you don't know. They could be deciding to take a risk on something and push it in a general direction. We just don't know. All I know is that I'm excited for more Dungeons and Dragons in my life, and I want to see more of it. So there's a lot of great information in this article for those of you who want to learn more about what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are working on right now. They talk about things like, this is a good question here. When you say Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are trying to build to the strength of these studios, what's that process look like? And the answer to this was, we went out and sought certain people. Or in some cases, the people we were talking to says Atomic Arcade is doing the Snake Eyes game. We've got folks there that worked on Arkham, like our studio head. We wanted people who brought Batman to life, so it's very much the same thing. Huge G.I. Joe fan. They've also got the Exodus game and the works. So if you want more information on all of these different games and studios, there's also a little tidbit here talking about the success of Baldur's Gate 3. And the question asked is, given the success of Baldur's Gate 3, is the goal for all of your D&D projects to replicate those systems or make games that are as different as possible? And he says, we're obviously thrilled at the reception of BG3, which proved a lot of things. We obviously don't want to exist on an island, so when we make a D&D game, we want to work with the D&D team and tie into what they're planning for future releases and stuff like that. So I would say also be paying attention to what D&D is doing as a brand, because the general focus of the tabletop campaigns and where they're going with the overall Dungeons and Dragons brand is going to be reflected in the video game projects that are coming out, which is exciting for me. Like I said, I've been a lifelong D&D fan. I'm going to be a fan of D&D until the day they put me in the grave. I don't care what world it is. I just have always enjoyed it, and it's one of those things that I'm ride or die, like I am with Star Wars or Star Trek or Dune or Middle Earth or any of these things. I might be critical of certain things that happen in these worlds and projects, but overall, I love it. I can't wait to see more. Love to hear your thoughts. What are your what's the anticipated game? What do you think the unnamed project is? What world do you think it's set in? Love to see those down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch. And I'll catch everybody in the next one. Don't forget the Patreon and the Discord. See you next time.